All right, y'all. Today I have a really special video. I have an interview with Supreme Drops. Yes, the same Supreme Drops whose drop list we go over every single week here on this channel. Supreme Drops and I had a very interesting occurrence happen to us coincidentally around the same week regarding Reddit. If anyone watching this video has had any experience with the Supreme or Supremeclothing subreddits, please listen all the way to the end and leave your comments down in the section below. I think there's a serious problem with the Supreme subreddits, and in this video, we will talk about why. Stay tuned.
SupThomas.
If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and just maybe talk a little bit about what you do regarding Supreme and that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Drops, just Drops, I guess, because I started my page in 2015, I think, about Supreme's Drops, and I kind of expanded to try to cover more news on Twitter and Instagram, about sneakers and fashion brands that points towards streetwear in general. But whatever. Most people know me as Drop Supreme, and just try to help people to get to know more about Supreme, to help them every week with what's getting released and what will be the prices. And if I don't have the official prices, I was discussing. I just give estimation so people can, prepare themselves for the release. And I basically just cover news and leaks about Supreme and other fashion brands.
Yeah, no, like I said, I really appreciate what you do. I cover Supreme drop lists pretty much every week, and I try to do the same thing, but just in video format, like let people know what's coming out, what to prepare for, resale estimations sometimes. I know lately that's been... it's been so different. I think the overproduction, for instance, is a factor to that. I think the economy is a factor.
Yeah, there's many factors to take in account. But
yeah,
I think what I've changed the most the resale market over the years is mainly the accessibility to resale platforms.
Yeah.
Like in the past, you could only meet and trade in real life or Facebook at most, but now any kid and any kid can take his grandma card and buy online and then resell it for under retail.
Right. And then there's so many more like Supreme websites. Like there's all the different regions now. We have multiple stores.
For sure.
And
more stores, more stock.
I think there might even be a little bit of Supreme being less prevalent in the overall like streetwear industry.
Yeah, I think also the retail are getting more and more expensive,
Yeah.
Like basic hoodies used to cost like maybe $130, and now it's almost $200 if you take the taxes in and stuff. It's ridiculous now.
Yeah, it is crazy. And thinking about also like how many box logos they release per season. Like they used to never release box logos at the beginning of the season, and for spring summer 23 we got the tonal.
But in the same time, there was a period when we didn't know, we weren't there at the time, but there was a period with many box logo that nobody knows of, besides a couple of collectors pages. So there's like ton of box logo nobody ever heard of, but which released in early 2000 and in the late 90s,
Yeah.
And you see these box logos and you'll be like, but actually released quite a lot of box logos before. So it's the idea to have like almost no box logo is just because during like maybe 2016 to 2018 or 19 there was not that many every season, but at some point it kind of grew back.
Yeah, no, it's super interesting. And I guess kind of getting into the topic of today, the Supreme subreddit. Some of you might know this is a place where you're supposed to be able to discuss Supreme, buy, sell, and trade clothing, different pieces from the current season, past seasons, and just, do all the stuff you do in a subreddit. And Well, I happened to actually get banned from this subreddit recently for posting in the buy, sell, trade thread for the motion logos. I copped a medium and wanted to sell it because I just got a restock on that and wanted to either trade or just, get rid of it, whatever. And I posted it to the sub, and I went about my day. I work from home, so I usually go for the Supreme drop, get back to
As
work.
you should.
Right. I can't just stay on Supreme and Reddit all day, unfortunately, or probably for better. I have things to do. And the auto moderator, I guess, replied to my post and said, hey, you need to post proof for this. I had a buy it now price. That's one of their big rules. You have to have a buy it now price, whatever. I've forgot that in the past, and I usually correct it. But this time I put it in there, and I didn't know that I got asked to provide proof. And a couple hours later, I saw a message on my Reddit saying I've been permanently banned from participating in Supremeclothing. And I can go into a little bit more about my experience with the moderators, but a couple days later, I saw on your Twitter that you also happened to get banned from Supreme.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Because, it's actually the second ban I get, because I used to be posting on r/Supremeclothing as well.
Yeah.
But they banned me a while ago now, and now it happens that the same occurred on the actual r/Supreme as
Right.
well. So the latest, I asked why did they ban me, and I was like, there's no reason for it. And so one moderator told me that because I posted too much news or whatever, it was spamming the sub. I was like, okay, whatever, but what's the point of having a community thing if you can discuss and just share the news or just your opinion, whatever? And so it's like, it's promoting your social medias, but bro, I have more followers than you have sub users. So it doesn't make sense. But I'm like, I don't get those community that are handled by like a handful of people,
Right.
that are so much eager to show their, I don't know, their control over the sub.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You create a community, you gather people, and you actually don't let them leave and just having an activity within the sub. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It doesn't. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was about to say, and for the first Reddit, which is Supremeclothing, I'm not even sure why they banned me. I believe it's because I posted leaks and it's not tolerated. But I think also a couple of moderators don't like me at all, because whenever, even if it's not me that's posting my content, like people will share a screenshot of one of my posts, I will see browsing on the Reddit that people get told by the moderators, like, don't share the WGG, it's bullshit or whatever, is not accurate, or it's like, don't put him here.
That's ridiculous, man. Going off what you said about the community, I totally agree. I understand the point of having rules, right? You don't want people getting scammed. You want somewhat not to have spam, but like, I don't see how information that you're posting in real time is spam when it's accurate and relevant.
I was like just posting as soon as I was told. So like, I couldn't just gather every, like, it was about the towel, the Tamagotchi, and the two set, but we didn't get told at the same point. So I couldn't just post it all at once if I didn't know. Hey,
Sure, yeah, and that's just ridiculous in my opinion. And considering like where I see you in the community is a very important figure, like someone that just helps everyone else, because the biggest thing for preparing for a drop list is like, or for a drop, is knowing what comes out. And
definitely.
Like I said before, I appreciate what you do, and I know a lot of people do. And so I replied to my ban and I said, yo, I've been a member of this for years. Instantly got a ban for posting a comment. and I forgot to add the proof of purchase. I said, I feel like this ban's pretty harsh and I appreciate to be lifted. You can go back to my post history and find I've made successful sales with members over the years. I linked to a post from 8 years ago where I sold a guy something, and last year where I sold someone another thing. And their response is, how have you been here for years yet forget to add proof? And I think this kind of leads into what you were talking about, how they treat the rules like above everything else, above treating people like humans.
Allow any activity to be created and to snowball, like if you restrict people too much, they won't dare to act, to talk, and to share, like on Supremeclothing, I think they don't allow you to talk or post about current season's pieces. Like you have to use the thread, the mega thread or whatever. And I mean, it makes no sense. The point is to gather and to discuss. So why wouldn't you be able to discuss?
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they say they don't want spam, but if you look at the posts on the actual account, I mean, there's like rarely a day goes by where there's more than like 5 posts. It's like not a very active sub. So I don't see why having more information wouldn't grow the sub and have a more of a space for people to talk about it. And what just really frustrates me is I've like reached out to them multiple times asking about what rule I broke, update on the ban, and they just respond with, honestly, we've had that rule for as long as you've been here. It hurts your case when you tell us you've been here for years. And it's like, I don't understand how, even if I did mess up, right? I didn't post proof of purchase within hours of my post. Like, who is that hurting? Like, why can't they allow a mistake and allow me to correct it instead of choosing to permanently ban someone?
Actually, just punishing themselves because, like, as you said, there's less and less posts every day. And if you refrain people to post or just to do whatever they have to post about, well, the sub will just die. And at the end of the day, I mean, we are not forced to post here, so you should just welcome whatever gets posted every day.
Right. Yeah, and I saw on your post, like when you tweeted that you were banned, and I quote tweeted it, there was like a few other people that I got banned from it. Shade TV, she's a pretty big creator, and I saw she was also banned. So it just seems like they don't give a shit who you are. I don't know,
it
like,
seem really rare to get banned for whatever reason. And there's a guy that sent me a message, like he was saying, like, yo, this dude is called Philadelphia and he's the moderator of Reddit Supremeclothing and he thinks he's a dictator and whatever. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people to have experienced the same thing, and it's a bummer because I think many people were just to connect and share their experience about Supreme and just to discuss, and the couple only places where you can do it are not actually letting you do so.
Yeah, no, it's very strange, and it's like very much so like gatekeeping behavior. Like if you don't adhere to these very specific rules, then you're going to be, you're going to be shut out of the community. You're not going to get a chance to make a simple mistake. Like I really don't get why like I was permanently banned. Like maybe they could ban me for a week or a day or something, but it's just very curious to me how, like, when I told them like, hey, I just messed up once, like I've been here for 10 years. They said that hurts my case rather than, helping it. So clearly, the people at the Supreme subreddit, I don't have any experience with the r/Supreme. I've really only been on the Supremeclothing subreddit because I think that was the first one.
Well, I think the one with a clothing in the name is actually more free, but it ended up not really be the truth.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just like a couple of hateful guys that which the power get to their head, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I sent them a very like kind of not stern response, but I said, "Do you get enjoyment out of being a Reddit mod and banning people for small rule infractions?" I said, "I
Yeah.
saw you jokers also banned Supreme Drops from the sub for social media promotion," which I think that was actually from the other sub, but whatever. And then I said,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, I said, "Instead of putting the community first and treating people like humans, you hold these authoritarian rules above all else. Really sad to see how this is how you choose to moderate a community. I seriously would advise you to look internally at your reasoning for these decisions." So who knows? They
Yeah.
probably won't say anything to me, but whatever.
Yeah, they probably won't care. But I wish they would watch your video, or if it's a podcast to listen it. But
Yeah.
I don't get the point of being so strict about the rules when whatever we want to do is actually just to share our passion and to help people out. And yeah, I mean, I would understand if I was hateful, if I was like promoting a scam or
Right.
trying to scam people, but here I was just trying to inform people that what was coming out this week, and you just wanted to share your piece. And yeah, you can be anytime on the computer posting about your proof of ownership, and I can't just lose my time posting somewhere where my posts are not welcomed, you know. So
I
yeah, it's kind
know.
of sad.
It is
That
sad. Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate. So I don't know if anyone watching right now has had experience with the Supreme Reddit, let us know. And Supreme Drops, thank you again for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, pleasure as well.
All right. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.